Hello, everybody. Welcome to this little impromptu video shoot here. This is being. I just rebuzzed my hair. I know it looks a lot shorter. This is being added on to the HLX video that will be going up quite soon. I recorded the HLX video quite a while ago, and a lot of new information was released today on HLX, so I wanted to talk about it and add it on here. It's just a couple things. Um, there is basic new code, whatever, blah blah blah, some physics stuff. Onto the important stuff. Um, there is rumor that the work is being done on a trailer for HLX. Now, Valve doesn't work like a traditional AAA studio that goes like, okay, we're gonna make the trailer, a fucking year before it releases and launches. No, they work on the trailer, announce the game, release the trailer, and then the game releases like 3 months later. It'll be done very, very similar to how Half-Life Alyx is done. And actually, HLX's release and announcement is going to be done very similar to Half-Life Alyx in general, because it's going to be probably partnered. It's going to be announced a little bit while after the Steam frame, which is probably what's going to happen. So work's being done in the trailer now. How long it's been going on, we don't know, but it is being done. That is the rumor. So that means we're getting quite close to the announcement. Now this ties into the Steam frame, the Steam controller 2, the EBEX, the IBEX, whatever you want to call it. A new little icon for it was leaked in Steam backend. So that, again, signals a release very, very soon. That'll be released along with the Steam frame, which I thought was going to be the Fremont, but I was wrong. I apologize. It'll be released along with the Steam frame, and then since the Steam frame is going to be this dual standalone PC VR experience with like a theater with 3D effects, HLX will be announced probably a little while after it, very similar to the Valve Index and Half-Life Alyx. So that's kind of what's happening. We should be cautiously looking at November. Now, I'm not a superstitious guy, but my prediction from the beginning, and I'm talking back into the summer here, was November. I don't know why. I've just had a good feeling about November for some reason. I didn't see it in September, October when people were guessing. December seemed a little bit too late to me, but for some reason, November has been like ringing in my head, and it still is. I don't know why, but it just seems like the month to me. I don't know why, but it does. It just for some reason just makes sense to me. So, and a lot of other people agree. So we are cautiously looking at November as a possible announcement for the Steam frame. Steam frame will be soon. Will be the most likely be the soonest. That'll probably be first. Half HLX could be a month after, could be 2 months after. I don't know. I really don't know what that. It'll be soon after the Steam frame is announced, but it won't be like that far out. So right now, in all real, if this is the true plan, we're looking at a release date of 2026 for Half-Life 3. That's what we're looking at. Now don't go crazy with that statement there. Just if the Steam frame is announced by the end of this year, we're going to say, and then it releases, and then, HLX is announced a couple months after, just like Half-Life Alyx is done. And this is, again, the very tried and true predicted series of events that's going to happen. We're looking at let's say Half-Life Alyx, HLX gets announced in November, let's say, which I don't think it will be, but let's say it does. Then we're probably looking at like early to mid 2026 for a release. If it gets announced early in 2026, then we're looking at mid to late. So again, it just depends. It'll only be a few months after the trailer. Half-Life Alyx was in. Wait, when was Half-Life Alyx announced? It's working on it. ChatGPT. Jesus Christ! It thought I was talking about a song. I have to Google this myself. It was announced November 18th, 2019, with a full reveal trailer and details on November 21st, and then it was released in March of 2020. So let's see, November, that's December, January, February, March. That's 4 months. That's not a long time, give or take a couple days, obviously. So again, they did it in November last year. They're going to do it in November this year. I don't know. But it's seemingly what we're looking at, and I'm hopeful. I have a good feeling about this. I'm very hopeful. I at least think the Steam frame will be announced in November because, again, it's gone into mass production. What we heard, the Ibex is now showing up in Steam backend. Like, the trademarks have been filed. Like, literally everything points to a release within a couple of weeks, even. Because it's October 29th right now. It's pretty close to November. So that's what I'm seeing. That's my opinion. That's kind of my mix of fact and opinion. This is speculation. The rumor is there's being worked on a trailer. That is the rumor. Again, Valve Index was announced earlier in 2020 and 2019. Half-Life Alyx was towards the end of the year. If trailer work is just starting now, which is what we're hearing, and the Steam frame's almost done, the Steam frame could be announced this coming month in November, and then a couple months after, we see HLX get announced, or Half-Life 3, which is probably what it's going to be called. That's what we're looking at, and that makes the most sense as of right now. Again, things could change, but this is honestly, literally, the most likely thing to happen. Like, this is going to be it. But again, I don't want to sound like I know what I'm talking about. I'm just the messenger. I'm just the messenger to you guys, and I'm just giving my speculation and my opinion here. This isn't fact. This isn't literally what's going to happen. But I think it's going to be really something interesting. And I'm very, very excited. I have to be honest. I have the money banked, man. I have it saved and ready. Let me tell you. We talked about this in the Steam frame video. Steam frame's going to be expensive. $2,000 to $2,500 is what we're kind of looking at, or in that at least 2000s range. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting, but I digress. Again, I'm ready. I'm getting a call. There you go. Anyway, so Steam frame. Again, we're looking at a high price range here, and I ranted about this in my Steam frame video. I'm not gonna go into this here, but HLX will be a PC standalone, is what I'm assuming. And probably this is what I'm seeing as well. The Steam frame is kind of it's going to take advantage of this kind of 3D view theater thing that you're going to be able to play your full Steam library in with the Ibex. So, that's what, because people are saying, oh, HLX isn't VR. It's not VR. You're right. I was wrong in saying that, and I knew I was wrong. I said in the HLX video, oh, it's going to be like, you can do it in VR and 2D. I was wrong. I apologize. And I have to be honest, I think I knew I was wrong because I know I hadn't heard that in a while. And I'm pretty sure it's only been talked about in PC terms. But I said it anyway. I don't know why I did that. I'm sorry. It is PC only. It is standalone 2D. But it will be utilized in Steam frame, which I think is where I got confused. So that's going to be the partnership there. Again, be cautiously hopeful for November. Cautiously. Do not get your hopes up. People are saying it's going to be announced at the Game Awards. It's not going to be announced at the Game Awards. It's slightly possible, of course. They love Jeff. They pulled Half-Life Alyx from the Game Awards that one time. So, is it possible? Yes, of course it's possible. Do I think it'll happen? No, because Valve works on their own time, and they'll announce it with a tweet and when they want to, just like they did with Half-Life Alyx. I think it's a 50-50 shot because I could see it happening for Half-Life 3 and the specialty of the occasion. I can see it happening. Will it happen? We don't really know, to be honest. We don't have any information on this. And again, the Game Awards Twitter account is tweeting, oh, what's your dream game sequel announcement? What's your dream world premiere? They're fucking baiting. They're baiting. They do this every single year. I don't know why people keep falling for it. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude, but literally every year they tweet the same shit to get people hyped up and baited because they know what they're going to say. They did it similar with GTA 6 as well. They know what people are going to say, and they get people to watch, and then it doesn't happen. This is what they do every single year. So I'm sorry, but like, don't get your hopes up. Is it possible? Of course it's possible. It's a 50-50 shot. Will it happen? Probably not. I'm sorry, but just it happens every year. Every year they go, oh, there's gonna be big announcements this year. There's gonna be a surprise this year. What is your dream announcement? It's never Half-Life 3. It never has been. It never will be. Okay, I'm sorry. I just don't see it happening. They're baiting people. They do this every year, as I keep saying, and it pisses me off. Because literally, everyone starts freaking out, thinking it's Half-Life. It's not Half-Life 3. It's not Half-Life 3. Like, I remember since I really started watching the Game Awards, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago. And since then, every year they tweet the same thing. The hype is the same. I stopped getting hyped after the first year because I knew it wasn't going to happen. The only reason people are freaking out now is because we're getting so much information and we're apparently so close to the release and announcement date that like people are now associating them. Dude, if Steam Frame gets announced in November, I do not believe HLX will get announced in early December. Like, say Steam Frame gets announced November 1st, okay, early November, and then the Game Awards are December 11th. Even that like month period is quite short of a window. Like that's like a 90-10 shot. Like there's like a no chance of that happening at all. But it won't be like early November. It'll be like probably mid-November or even late November, possibly. And what? They're gonna announce Steam Frame and then HLX like 2 weeks later? No, that's not what they're gonna do. That's too close of a time frame. That's not what's gonna happen. Especially if the work on the trailer is just starting now. That alone takes like 2 to 3 months if they're just stringing gameplay clips together and taking it really from the engine, which is what they always do. So the trailer's not even done. I don't see it being it's late October right now. I don't see it being done in that time frame. Again, I could be wrong, but I don't see that happening. It just the timeline doesn't make sense. The most sensible timeline is Steam Frame in November or like by the end of this year, then HLX announcement early 2026, release mid 2026. And there's some variable in there obviously, but that makes the most sense. Not this shit, because the only reason people are saying this is because they're excited for it. And I understand that. I get that. But it's just wrong. It's just not going to happen. Stop saying things like, oh, this is it. This is going to be it. When it just isn't. It just isn't. Literally every year since when episode 3 was fucking talked about for the first time, every year, no matter what gaming event it was, it's been, oh, here's Half-Life 3. Every single year. For 20 years now, it's been the same thing. And it's never changed. It's not going to change now. Valve works on their own Valve time. They will announce the project when it is done and they feel comfortable. They don't work on anyone else's deadlines but their own. That's why they pulled Half-Life Alyx from the Game Awards. They didn't feel it was good enough to be seen yet. Valve doesn't give a shit. If they want to start the whole game over from scratch, they fucking will. But, sorry, I don't want to scare people. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But my point is that, like, they're not confined to deadlines. They don't give a shit the Game Awards are happening. They'll announce it on the same day if they want to. They don't fucking care. They'll do whatever they want. So, like, we can only judge Valve based off its own standards. Hold on. Because there's a term I want to use, and I don't want to use it incorrectly. Hold on. Okay. Cultural relativism. That's what I want. I thought I was gonna use it correctly, but I wanted to double check to make sure. We need to apply cultural relativism to Valve here. We need to judge them based on their own standards. Because they don't involve themselves or give a shit what the rest of the industry is doing. They do what they want on their own time. On Valve time, trademark. So, like, it doesn't matter. Cultural relativism. Like, we need to compare Valve to Valve itself. That's it. It doesn't matter what EA is doing, or Nintendo, or Microsoft, or Sony, or the Game Awards, or Jeff Keighley in general, or any Game Fest. It doesn't matter. None of it matters. They don't give a shit. They don't care what other companies are doing. They do what they want. They do it when they want it, and because they just push the industry forward, and they know they will. So again, stop trying to compare it to like, oh, this company doesn't. No, Valve operates like no other company, and they have never been one to follow deadlines. It's not going to happen. Since the first Half-Life game, they delayed by a year, okay? I ranted a bit there. I'm sorry, but there's my 2 cents. Yeah. High five, Alex. High five. Fuck, because it's HLX and Alex. HLX announcement sometime in the next couple months. Hopefully, Steam Frame. Hopefully this coming month. I pray to God, because please just give us something, man. Come on, please. I'm sick of waiting. Oh my god. Okay. Freak out over. See you guys in the next video. Peace.